Good evening to you, fellow powered individuals. You know who it is, target individual CJBK. Um, this one's gonna be a quick video. So I was on the phone with another TI here in New York. And he has an idea of possibly being able to suffocate the signal, because since the signals or the frequencies are in the air, and they basically make contact with the body, through the skin, or they go in through air cavities, they go through the ear, mouth, nose, things of that sort. He believes you could actually suffocate the signal so that it drops off of you, right? And then, sorry, that was my TI here and kicking in, wondering if that's some like ground level perps or whatever. Anyway, so um, yeah, he believes that you can basically suffocate the signal so that it drops off of you, but it's like he believes you can like go into like a sealed room or some type of something that can close off air, right? But then you might want to have like an oxygen tank or mask or something like that, so then you could be able to still breathe. But once you go into that sealed off area, the signal should drop off of you almost instantly, right? Now the other thing is, once you basically open once you basically come back out of that room or that area that's sealed off, it will the signal will literally kind of link back up to you, because they're basically searching for your resonant frequency. Something else, for people that's been saying they can't hear me on my videos, I realized they're using the frequencies in the air to basically, like, as the frequencies are going, past my microphone or whatever, they can create like a static that basically goes by the microphone, and then it creates that sound. So I never realized that other people are hearing a static sound on the microphone. So um yeah, I believe they're using like electronic, like a EMI, like a type of interference. you know what else? And then I told the other TI, I was like, well, I think if we were to if we go in that room and then we suffocate the air around us, we got an oxygen mask on, or something that can feed us oxygen, um we could possibly wear like some type of like a hat that has like graphene um layered on the inside of it, or Maxine, something like that, because it could possibly um, prevent their signal from connecting out of us. So basically, when you think about it, the brain operates like a AM/FM receiver, right? So a signal can go in and then it can also go out, right? Now, the thing that I realized is, if we were to suffocate the air around us by going into like a room or some type of chamber or something like that, the signal would drop off, right? If we put that hat on, that has that carbon based that carbon based layer material, because graphene is a carbon based material. and so is Maxine, MXENE. Um, if we put that stuff on our heads while we're in the chamber, and then once the signal drop off, when we come back out, I believe that even if the signal were to come back in contact with our body, um, the signal wouldn't be able to go out through the brain. Because remember, everything that they're doing is connecting the brain. Like it's like the signal goes to the brain and then it connects out of the brain. So I believe that like connecting us, well, I believe that, wearing like a hat or something to prevent the signal from going back out, that could work. This isn't like a special hat or anything. This is just to cover my hair because, well, I didn't do my hair. Anyway, so for example, through the crown of the skull, right? There's one signal that's kind of going in like this, right? The light, it's like a near infrared light. I could feel the heat. I could feel the heat of it. Like it's like there's a heat to it, like very low temperature, but you can still feel it. It's like right here for me. It's like right here. And it's a beam that's probably no bigger than a quarter. Right, yeah. So just as I did that, I could actually feel it like right at the base of my thumb and index finger. So it's like a beam like no bigger than like a half dollar or a quarter, right? And it comes and it goes straight up just like that, right? And it connects to the pineal gland. Um, but then there are also other locations that they have beams connecting to where the somatosensory cortex, somatosensory cortex that's stimulating the brain's that's stimulating the part of the brain that allows us to be able to feel things on different parts of our body, eyes, knees, hands, elbows, legs, and stuff like that. Then you got the um, auditory cortex here. And I know I mentioned this before, like when I'm wearing like a particular type of material hat, it increases the heat sensitivity of the beams themselves. So while I'm wearing the hat, I can feel the special pinpointed areas on the brain that are being stimulated by you know um, their their beam. So like I said, it's like no bigger than like a half dollar or a quarter, and I feel it right now, like right at the base of my thumb, like right at the base of my thumb and index finger. So when I go like this, I could feel it kind of go out. But then the thing is, I realize it kind of like curves up. Like it connects to the main beam that's going to the pineal gland. Like all of the beams are somehow going up and then they connect to the main base, the main beam, right? So they're stimulating the auditory cortex, somatosensory, the visual processing or visual cortex to the back where the cerebellum is. Um, and then there's also your motor. What is it? Motor balancing or muscular balance or something like that. I forgot. You got that back there. All of these other different stimulated parts of the brain, all of these different beams, they all kind of go up and then connect to the main beam, and then it goes out that way, like towards like a satellite, or if it's going up to a like a pinged um cell tower. And remember the app that I show you all called the architecture of radio. It shows these unknown carrier cell towers. these unknown carrier cell towers are not actual physical cell towers that you would see um, like on top of a building or on a street pole or anything. They're mobile devices, probably no bigger than no bigger than you could basically fit them in like a suitcase, a book bag, anything like that. Um, so yeah. Last thing, so they realize they are, they're pretty much kind of struggling with trying to see if they could break me down. So this is what they do, right? I don't even remember how I got this, but when you're TI, you just sometimes you just get marks and stuff that appear on you out of nowhere, and you don't even know how I got there. So on my left heel, there is like a split in the bottom of my left heel, right? Like it was dry and then it just like it split open. Yeah, I got dry feet, sorry. And for whatever reason, it doesn't always hurt, but I could tell it's usually something that they're doing with the concentrated light near infrared beam. Right now, I have my wand. Oh yeah, I made it bigger. I took more of the magnets and I just made like one bigger one. So what they're basically doing is instead of it healing on its own, what they're doing is they're concentrating the radiated non-ionized energy or the concentration of radiation that's in the air or non-ionized energy, something like that. They're concentrating it on the wound so that it can't heal properly. And that basically destroys the cells, so then the cells can't regrow faster or heal properly. Yeah. And what it feels like it feels like it doesn't feel like a normal wound, but it feels like something is burning you. So and what radiation pretty much does is it basically causes the cells to vibrate so viciously that as they're vibrating they generate heat, and then the cells basically just die, right? And yeah, that's pretty much what's happening down here. So what I'm doing is I'm using my magnetic wand, and as I hold it, the funny thing is as they're yelling, I'm like, I am recording right now, so it's like your voice is being picked up by the microphone. So whatchamacallit. So yeah, I have the magnetic wand near the wound, and it's basically sucking in the energy from the concentrated energy that is on my heel. But anyway, that's it for now. I slept much longer than I thought I would, but maybe they probably, had me locked up like that so then I could just sleep through most of the day. Cause I remember, well, let me see. I think I probably when I came in from work, I ate. Well, I was on the phone with him. Then I ate, and then I think between I know my body was just exhausted from work today, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it is also um, these, perps and handlers radiating my body while I'm asleep. And I think I probably fell asleep somewhere around like 4, maybe 4. And yeah, it's now almost 9:50, and I'm just like, wow, I really slept. Then now I'm gonna have to go back to sleep and then wake up around like 2:30 in the morning so I could leave for work. So I don't know how this is gonna work, but I still feel sleepy anyway. um hey, my birthday's tomorrow too. So, yeah. Everyone's like, you got anything special you gonna do for your birthday? I'm like, man, nope. Cause, most of the things that I want to do, um, city still hasn't woken up to the propaganda of the, so-called coronavirus. So even though the key to the city, um, even though the key to the city mandate has been lifted by our, mayor Eric Adams, um, businesses are still asking or requiring people to, be fully vaccinated. And I'm just like, that's kind of like isn't that discrimination at this point? And they're like, oh well, it's up to the businesses, you know, I think their own like personal preference or whatever. And I'm like, that sound like discrimination still, because I mean, it's not like it's not like that's a it's not like that's a it's not a law. I think, well, maybe on a federal level. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it, but I don't know. So, but for the most part, it might be good for me not to be out mingling with everybody anyway, because well, actually, I'm not afraid of none of these perps or anything like that anyway. But yeah, I just still be trying to live my life anyway. It's been a while since I actually went into a restaurant and really enjoyed myself, but it's kind of hard to do that now when you got perps and stuff around you, and you go into a restaurant. The last restaurant I've been to was out in Jersey, and it's interesting because you know as I got into Jersey, I could still hear the V2K, but Jersey and New York, they're like right there to each other anyway. And I could remember when I went into the restaurant, and I didn't well, I caught vibes, like I could feel the energy of certain, people working there. And then I remember as we started to be walked to our table, I could almost hear like people in the back, like in the kitchen and stuff like that, talking. But then again, you can't really allow yourself to be too what's the word, bothered by what you're hearing, because that's basically how they make the paranoia set in. Because then, if you allow it to bother you, then you'll feel inclined to want to say something. The next thing you know, they're gonna be like, "We're not talking about you," and just make you seem like that you're the one that's paranoid and whatnot, even though you know what you're hearing. So, um, but hey, like I say, the best thing you could do, whenever in doubt, get you an infrasound recorder and just record the environment. you know, um, that's your best thing to do anyway. Get you an infrasound recorder and record the environment. And hey, that's your proof right there that someone is actually talking or referring to you. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I'm about to see if I could go back to sleep. And then, yeah, I'll keep y'all posted on things and whatever else I might find out to do as far as this targeting stuff. So, remember, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.